Good morning, guys. It is September 2nd. We're going to try and get out here before everybody gets out for Labor Day weekend. Rain is on the horizon. I didn't even check the forecast till I was driving here, and I looked and ooh. So around 10 o'clock, I think rain is going to be set in, and I think it's going to be raining pretty much all day on me if the forecast holds true, but you know how that goes. I was hoping the sun was going to be out because the shallow bite is going to be getting better, and that just helps kind of keep the fish in a predictable area on a dock. But with it being cloudy, they're still going to be hanging around them. You just might have to work around the dock a little bit more, dissect it a little bit to find where they're at. You know, it won't be as obvious because there's not so much shade. But I'm still going to hit up some brush piles, secondary points, probably some out on the main lake too. That seemed to hold fish last time, and see if we can catch some good ones today. Okay, I got the skunk out of the boat. Some bad luck. I missed several fish. I don't know what was going on. They're biting it funny or what. I just couldn't get them hooked. Little fella. Guy on a 6XD here, looking for some bigger fish obviously, but they're all suspended around these brush piles, so I thought I'll try throwing a deep diver, see if that gets any bites. I'm gonna toss it back in there and see what we get. Okay, I'm putting a new jig on here and experimenting. Just a green pumpkin brown jig that I tied yesterday. I got some different jig heads I'm also messing around with. I'm pretty much always experimenting with something, and we're gonna put a little chartreuse on here. A lot of times you use the Spike It dip and die, but I got some of these markers too. They work good, but my dye it's running pretty low. It's like down to here, so it's hard to not get the entire thing dyed. So normally just put a little chartreuse on the tails this time of the year because there's a lot of bluegill. That's kind of what I'm imitating around these docks. Get this lined up where I'm going to put it on. Thread this on. We'll see how this jig does compared to my other one. Pretty simple though, small, but I like these kind of flat trailers when I'm doing a lot of skipping underneath these docks, because you know how well you can see that. It's just a really nice flat bottom for this to skip on. This is a I think it's a Boss jig head. I just bought some there on Tackle Warehouse, just messing around, getting, it's kind of an archy style, but I got my tried and true ones that we sell, but I'm always just messing around with different jig heads, different styles, and having fun experimenting. So we'll see if this does any better. Well, with the rain, it's hard to keep the camera out, but there's a decent one here. Big old mouth on it, it's a little skinny for what it is, but caught that one on a 10-inch worm. That's probably close to a 5-pounder in the spring, but right now it's so dang skinny. It's probably close to 4. So I'm gonna put the camera away until I catch another sizable fish, I guess. It's just raining too hard and I don't have anything to keep this thing waterproof. All right, now that I'm out of the rain, I will film this. Fishing was not horrible. I didn't have a lot of it on film, obviously, because of the rain. It got too hard. It was kind of off and on for a minute, and then I got it back out, and then it proceeded to downpour after that, so I put it away for the rest of the day. But it was pretty similar to the last time. Nothing crazy. The biggest one was the one that I showed, about 4 pounds-ish. The shallow bite for me, like all the way in the back, was doing nothing today. I had, I think, one bite doing that, and that was it. I flipping around a Zoom brush hog, a little D-bomb from Missile Baits, and then a jig. I went back out just a little bit, like about halfway back, I started to see some more shad. So I focused mostly on those docks that are about halfway back in the creeks and looking for brush piles and stuff in between them or underneath them, or just fishing alongside the docks is where most of the fish came from. I then did venture back out onto the main lake and some secondary points and brush and got some bites just dragging a curly tail worm around again as slow as I could. It seemed like the motor oil color that I was using from Power Bait from Berkeley was doing a little bit better than other stuff. Towards the end when I caught a fish, ripped the tail off, so I just used a blue fleck or a plum worm that I had laying in the boat because I didn't feel like getting a brand new one out for a short period of time. And then it kind of shut down a little bit. Wasn't getting any bites, put the motor oil worm back on, and then immediately was catching fish again. So I don't know if it was the color, the scent, you know, something to do with it, but they did seem to prefer that today. So the shallow bite is not all the way there yet. It's going to keep getting better. This kind of a cooler rain will probably help a little bit. The water was around 82 degrees, 83 degrees up here in the lower end. So when that water starts getting down into like the 70s, that's when the shallow bite will really kind of kick off. The days are getting shorter. The fish are going to start pushing up a little bit, and it's a lot of fun to, you know, skip jigs and flip baits and stuff around some of the shallower docks and catch some nice fish. So I'll be back up next weekend. I'm actually, somebody's tagging along with me. We'll see what we catch then. Thanks for watching, guys.